Peace to the gods and the goddesses, man. Ethan will be reporting for duty. Man, that's how far this spot is? Oh, hell no. Popping out there in the YouTube world, man. It's gonna be a quick little joint. Still been getting a bunch of shout out to the Cash App supporters for sending in those donations. Cash App supporters been going in on those donations. They like, yo, how in the hell cellfluid gonna leave us out there like that, son? It's mad intel in them archives. They don't like to be checking them archives. Man, it is what it is, man. The primary objective is to constantly raise your vibe. That's it. That is the primary objective. Raise your vibe. If you constantly do that, you will never get lost in the matrix. You will always see it before it happens. I mean, but shout out to the Cash App supporters for sending in those donations. Y'all already know who y'all are. Shout out to the Cash App supporters. We're getting a bunch of questions, B. There'd be a lot of people, it's something I stated before, man. It'd be a lot of people that be asking me a whole bunch of questions, but they don't support. I ain't answering none of y'all questions. You know what I mean? But a lot of y'all just want to feed. Check them archives. But for those that's about that light, y'all already know what time it is. Early in the morning drinking my water. Thought I had some chlorophyll in the damn van. I was wrong. This wig wearer walking with this demon. Yo. Somebody had asked me about the I don't think I spoke with, I know I mentioned it before, but I don't think I spoke with it. The bald eagle. I know I mentioned it before a couple of times. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it when I was speaking about what the American flag is. Maybe I didn't. But, you know, the American flag, there is no such thing as American flag. You know, and yes, I'm aware that people is jumping on that wagon. You know what I mean? But just know that your boy, cellfluid, was the first one who actually pointed out what the American flag really is. Number one, there is no such thing as a red, white, and blue flag. The white is the canvas. It's the background. It's not counted as a color. It is a red and blue flag. It's a Masonic flag. You know what I mean? When you're looking at the United Nations, that's the United Masons. All those flags are Masonic degrees, Masonic territories. You know what I mean? And this is something that I gathered just from identifying the obvious. You don't need to read no book, because a book is static thoughts. And there's thoughts constantly moving around this mother dutter. You know what I mean? So, the bald eagle, man. I mean, you gotta really ask yourself, why would America use a symbol that's an endangered species to represent it? You know what I mean? They use the symbol of an endangered species. Now I know people might be like, well, at the time when they used the bird, it wasn't an endangered species. Of course it was. Anything that is a hybrid is an endangered species. Regardless of what these scientists tell you that because every time they want to introduce an endangered species, they always give it to you when they're small in numbers. That is the main pitch when they want to get you to identify an endangered species of what it really of what it is. Well, you know, there's such and such animal over here. Like they'll be like, well, a pink whale is an endangered species, or this turtle is an endangered species, or this dog, or this cat is, or this bear, this lion, this jaguar is an endangered species because there's only about 200,000 of them left. Once upon a time, it was 18 million. Now it's 200,000, and you know the numbers is dwindling, so they on the endangered species list. No, hybrids are an endangered species. You know what I mean? As I stated before, the humans is not a race. There's no such thing as a human race. That's an illusion, like Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? The humans is an endangered species. All species are endangered because they are all artificial. Species is artificial, regardless of what these scientists try to program you to get you to see what a species is. Because a species is an experiment. You know what I mean? And all experiments have a beginning and have an end. So the beginning of the experiment is when the experiment, you know, the inception. And then it comes a point in time in the experiment duration that it flourishes. You know what I mean? And then it comes a point in time, another stage in the experiment when people really ain't putting that much energy into the experiment, whatever it is, then they just start not focusing on it, then it starts dwindling, or the natural I ain't gonna call it the natural, the makeup of the experiment begins to reveal its true identity, meaning that it begins to die, whatever it is. You know what I mean? It begins to die. It don't matter if it's a biological experiment or if it's freaking religion. One of these corporations out here. You know what I mean? It's all in the same. So, but they want you to see these endangered species as related to a number when it's dwindling. But you know what I mean? So, like, you know, with the scientists, they have an endangered species personality because they conduct experiments that will never last. You know what I mean? You gotta know, when you're experimenting on something, that's a sign that you don't know how it works. You know what I'm saying? Experiments, I ain't saying it ain't good or it ain't bad. I'm identifying what it is. Experiments is a sign that you don't know how it works. Because if you know how it works, there's no need to experiment. You just do what you got to do. But they fed us this illusion that the humans are a race. And that, you know, they came from some Adam and some Eve, and they try to make it seem like the humans is like this superior race. And it's something that I put on Facebook, son. You get a lot of these people that be thumping this Bible quote, always talking about. And I heard a lot of these conscious people say it as well, so-called conscious, which they ain't doing nothing but relaying programs. When they always say in the last days, the meek would inherit the earth. The meek would inherit the earth. And they'll be like, well, you know, right now we effed up in the game, so we consider the weak. So, you know, we're gonna inherit the earth, and we got to get prepared to inherit the earth. Hell no, we not weak. The reality is no carbonated being on this planet is truly weak. They are just being weak. You know what I mean? They just being weak. They just acting weak. You know what I mean? At the core, we're not really weak. We're just in an effed up position right now, and we don't want to acknowledge it. That's why things are not changing. Because the God race is not acknowledging the mishaps that they're in. You know what I mean? The meek already inherited the earth. They are the human species. They already inherited it, man. Take a look around you, man. You sitting around here waiting for some Christ or waiting for some alignment to happen so that the so-called meek would inherit the earth. Nah, man, they already inherited it. They are known as the human species. You know what I mean? Straight up. But they fed us this false illusion that the humans are a race and all this and all that. The humans is an endangered species because they are artificial. Anything that is artificial is an endangered species. Meaning that it will only be a matter of time before the species reveal its true identity, and that is death. You hear now about all these different sectors of humans. Birth rate declining. They be like, yo, such and such birth rate is declining. These people over here, they birth rate is declining. They birth rate declining over here. They birth rate declining. They birth rate declining. See, it might, and they'll even try to throw some black people birth rate up in there because they'll talk about all these abortions. But you got to know, our birth rate is not declining by way of some type of genetic inability to reproduce itself. That's a big difference, man. Our birth rate is not declining because of some genetic inability to reproduce itself. Our birth rate appears that it's declining because this is something that I stated before. These abortion clinics are sacrificial temples, man. They do blood baby sacrifice in abortion clinics. They legalize baby sacrifice, man. They legalize it. As I stated before, man, everything that's illegal, they legalize. You know, witchcraft is legal here. It's illegal for you to do it if you don't get the permission. But an abortion clinic or hospitals and liquor stores and all this stuff, they can perform their witchcraft because they got a license to do it, son. To practice spells on you, son. You know what I mean? So they will tell you about, well, 20 million babies died in the last month by way of abortion. The birth rate is declining. Birth rate ain't declining, son. You know what I mean? Because even with those numbers, we still have the ability to outproduce the humans. You know what I mean? You just got these sisters that's up under this damn lunatistical frequency that's just offering their babies over to the beast. You know what I mean? They offering their babies over to the beast, which is slowing up the ascension. It's not stopping nothing. It's slowing it up. You know what I mean? It's slowing up the ascension. So our so-called birth rate numbers is not collapsing based on a genetic inability, because we are authentic. We allowing that to happen. All them abortions and all that other stuff. We allowing all this wild stuff to happen to us. But on the human sense now, they can't help it. See, we have the ability to change that situation. We have the ability to, stand for the women and raise them up. We could stop all that, but we're not acknowledging it that it's a problem, son. Yeah, it's normal right now in this time phase that we're in. As sick as this sounds, it's normal for babies to get aborted. You have it in guys' minds and girls' minds when they having unprotected sex. Yo, if you just get pregnant, pop a pill, get abortion. I give you the money, and the girls agree. So it's normal for these people to engage in blood sacrifice. They are blood sacrificing their own babies. Participating in satanic rituals, man. You know what I mean? But we could change all that. We could stop all that. We could come together. It don't matter how much the humans come together, son. They are an endangered species. It don't matter what type of vessel they create by way of crossbreeding all these genes, all these different humans and species. All these species, and even take some of our genes. They got a whole bunch of genes, but then again, as I stated before, that blood that they got in the hospitals is no good, because it's blood that's coming out the bodies of low frequency carbonated beings. So it ain't really no good. It ain't really no good. They're not getting the blood of the real beings. The real beings ain't about that. Real beings is like, man, I ain't even trying to make it in a damn hospital. I'm making sure I study this health, get my health up, do what I got to do to raise my damn vibe up. Make sure I stay out that mother dudder. They ain't trying to give up no blood test, man. Nah, I'm good. My body telling me what's going on. I know how to communicate with my body. I don't need to give you none of my blood. You're not getting none of my blood taken in some damn hospital, then cloning it. You know what I mean? And running all types of experiments on it. Nah. You ain't getting none of that. The humans, they can't help that they are on the endangered species. Look how they scrabbling all over the place looking for an extension. They looking all over the planet. They looking in space. They looking in the ocean. They looking in freaking fish, birds, animals, plants. They looking in the air. They looking at atom particles. They looking at all these different things for a damn extension. Damn, man, yo, we about to be effed up in the game, son. They scrabbling all over the place, son. Cause they can't help it, man. You get like this is a I don't know if I mentioned this before, son. But one of these dudes I used to hang with, I don't even hang with him no more. He was a human, son. This dude is like he used to have sex with a lot of carbon women. You know what I mean? He's Ecuadorian, son. You know what I mean? And it's like I used to ask him like, yo, how come you don't never have no kids, son? Like, why you ain't trying to have no babies or nothing like that? And he's like, yo, man, I don't even feel like it, son. He in his mind, he don't feel like having babies. He already said he would never have babies. He already had that installed in his mind. He assumed that is a decision that he made. He don't realize that is a genetic vibration that's vibrating through his body, son. You know what I mean? In his mind, he see it as a choice that he personally made. I'm not going to continue my bloodline. He don't know that's the genes talking in his body, son. You're not going to produce nothing, son. It's like it's a wrap for you, son. You're a human, son. This is how it would be for a lot of human and Hugh women. Or should I say Hugh males and Hugh females, or these fake men and fake women. This is how it would be for a lot. You have a lot of humans talking about, well, I'm going to sell my egg and I don't really want to have no babies. Girls talking about, I ain't trying to have no babies. Or guys like, man, I ain't trying to have no babies. I just want to live free. No. That is a phase, one of many phases that represents the annihilation of the human species, huh? You're on the endangered species list. You know what I mean? Endangered species. Your numbers is dwindling. When they talk about these guys, these humans going to the doctor and they talk about your sperm count is low and you can't really have no babies. That is something that was inevitable to happen, man. You are a hybrid. Now for these brothers out here who get caught up with that, that's only because they got an effed up ass diet and they got all them chemicals in their damn body. You know what I'm saying? But if they was to revert out of that poisonous lifestyle, they would see that the semen cell numbers would do what it's supposed to do. You know what I mean? The Semitic cells. They would see the damn Semitic cells do what it's supposed to do, son. Straight up. So in our case, it's completely by choice. It ain't really by law, because we could change all this. Who but us have the right to change all laws? Because, you know, when we was at our higher state, we created all this mother. So it was only us who could change all this. But on a human sense, there's no changing it for them, son. There is no changing it for them, son. So when you look at America using a bald eagle, or any one of these freaking hybrids, you know what I mean, as a damn template that represent that nation, they're letting you know they're waving a flag because they are surrendering. You know what I mean? When you wave the flag, that is surrendering, meaning that you're giving up. Is a continuous surrendering. ING is an action. When the flag stopped waving, you surrendered. There's no more surrendering. You're dead. The bird flying, that's a sign of surrendering. The feathers flapping in the wings is no different than the flag waving in the wind. In the wind. You know what I mean? When the birds stop flying, you know, when it's all annihilated, they have surrendered. You know what I mean? They will tell you it's a whole. They were like, well, you know, it's a crime to kill a bald eagle. It's a crime to kill all endangered species. I say this to the carbonated beings. When y'all dream, kill those motherfreakers. Kill all them damn things that they tell you not to kill. Kill them in the dream world. Because a lot of your powers could be in the dream realm, son. Dream of killing all the motherfreaking bald eagles. Dream of burning all of this goddamn money that they tell you don't burn. Dream it. They show you their dreams all the damn time. You got the real dreams. When you dream, you go watch fake dreams in the movies. You know what I mean? You go watch fake dreams in the movies. You go get your dream on. You know what I mean? Straight up. You go get your dream on. Dream. They just showed you a galactical dream known as the Avengers Endgame. You know what I mean? When Thanos represent all the souls coming together. But you know, they try to make him look like the bad guy. You know, purple man, purple pineal gland hue. You got this damn Thor, this beast, beheading Thanos. Masonic symbolism. Dawn of a new day. They showed you that back in the days when they had this dude talking about this Arab dude beheaded this guy on national television. That's a Masonic motif. They showed you that in the movie. I think they had it in the movie Thor. Is that the movie Thor with this guy? What's that dude name when he chopped off the head of the damn statue? Like the God's gonna get you for that. I think it was. Oh no, it was Troy. I think that movie was Troy. Yeah, that movie was Troy. They showing you these symbols, man. You know what I mean? But to decapitate, they decapitate in the God man or the unity of the God of the soul race. The Thanos, son. You know what I mean? Coming together, doing what the overlords want us to do. The humans is supposed, as I stated before, they were supposed to be annihilated, man. Why you think it was forbidden for us to have babies with them? If the mere fact we have babies with them, it extends their existence. Think about this for a second. The mere fact that carbon beings have babies with the humans, it literally extends their existence. Then it would make sense. The reason why we was not supposed to have babies with them is because they were supposed to fade out of existence. They are an artificial species. Right now, this is an alternate timeline that we're in, son. This is that's why a lot of things is off. This is an alternate timeline that we're in, son. You know what I mean? So the hell with that bald eagle, that Baal eagle. Now you can behead that damn eagle. You know what I mean? Straight up. Have your, just like when they want to behead Thanos and all that. You have your dream, you chop that head off with a solar sword. The hell with an axe, a sickle. That's what the damn axe is. Moon phases, waxing and waning. That's why you had that damn Karate Kid movie talking about wax on, wax off, and he was spinning that circular waxing pad in a circular motion. They talking about moon phases, man, waxing and waning, son. You know what I mean? The horns, waxing and waning. Daniel, son. You know what I'm saying? The hell with the axe. Use a solar sword. Chop that goddamn eagle head off. You know what I mean? Straight up. The hell with these damn creatures that these nations is using to represent them, son. You know what I mean? We created all of this. It's about time the souls up and do what's needed. Straight avocado, straight etheric fruit. You know what I mean? So they already letting you know that they are in a state of surrendering. What they are doing is just prolonging their existence. Straight up, no matter how flashy they try to make it look on TV, no matter what them stocks and Jones numbers tell you, the stock market did set a world record and they ringing the bell at the end of the damn session. No matter how much money they tell you TD Jakes is making and how much jets he bought, how much mansions, how much land he owned, you looking at that like, damn, he's flourishing. Christianity's flourishing. No, it's not. It's dying. It's dying. You know what I mean? It's all dying. It needs your energy to keep it afloat. No matter what they tell you, the job field is flourishing, it's all dying. All of it. No matter if they tell you, well, you know, this movie like Spider-Man just made over $1 billion. The Avengers Endgame just made over $1 billion. Yo, Spider-Man is back. They all dying. I stated before, every time when these things is dying, they always use a carbon man or a carbon woman. They got something out known as Spideyverse with a carbon boy. Jump sparking life back into dying Spider-Man, because Spider-Man was dying. Once upon a time, they was gonna sell that mother dutter, because nobody. Yeah, the reality is, man, nobody want to see no creature, man, swinging around some damn tights, because that's all fake, man. Those are fourth dimensional voodoo dolls that they using to manipulate the masses, man. They know they can't really do none of that stuff. You know what I mean? But they always have a theme of these fake gods saving the human species. That's what all of those voodoo, those are fourth dimensional, the superheroes are fourth dimensional voodoo dolls that are targeted at lesser dimensional entities, you know, the human species, and they are conducting consistent rituals to extend their inevitable death. That's what they're doing in all these superhero movies. I don't care if it's Blade, you know what I mean? I don't care who it is. I don't even care if it's a carbon man on screen. He's being used as a biological voodoo doll. or she's being used as a biological voodoo doll. It don't matter if it's Catwoman, Storm. They got a black girl playing Storm. It don't matter, son. Voodoo dolls being used to extend the death of the humans. How is it that in all these superhero movies, the humans is always on the verge of dying, and here you have this higher dimensional being coming to save them? If a higher dimensional being has to come and save you, you are already dead. They cannot become the higher dimensional beings. The higher dimensional beings don't need to be saved because they have what it takes to go beyond. These weaker creatures, they don't have what it takes. So they need a higher power, a being of a higher mind, a being who can actually see what timeline they walking on and tell them, don't walk there, go here, don't do this, do that. Because they don't have no forevision. As I stated before, the humans, the mind is specifically there so they could be up under mind control, so they could be manipulated. The mind ain't powerful, man. The mind, regardless of what I don't give a damn who it is, regardless of what these people tell you, the mind is not powerful, man. That's another big illusion they had us under. That was mind control telling us the mind is what it is. You know what I mean? Straight up. That's mind control telling you the mind is the power. I was on that wagon. I'm off that wagon. You know what I mean? Because there was a bunch of videos. I was like, yo, you know, I ain't the mind, the moon, the men, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't really thinking about it. It was times I started thinking about it, son. You know, and then it's certain times you got to take trips. See what the freak is going on, son. And then you realize you start dealing with all this energy out here. You realize that they be creating energy can't. See, in order for you to get to the reality that the mind is artificial and it ain't all that, you first got to go through the phases of understanding that you can create energy. Because if you can't grasp that you can't create energy, then you would never be able to come to the realization that the mind is artificial, son. So if you go up and tell somebody that the mind is artificial, they already been pre-programmed that you can't create energy. So they're gonna be like, man, how the hell the mind gonna be artificial? The mind is made up of energy. But if they understand that electricity is artificial energy, and that's what the mind is made up of, you got different versions of electricity, you know what I'm saying? Then it would make more sense. Because energy can be created, son. I already did a video on that. Check them archives, man. You know what I mean? It's nothing the gods can't do. You know what I mean? Straight up. Straight up. The gods can't create artificial energy. It's known as your electricity. Real energy is ether. All these dumbed down different versions of ether, as I stated before, electricity is a dumbed down version of ether. It's heavily converted. Artificial energy. That's why these spirits, which is the energy inside of a human, always need a soul to do their ritual off of, son. If a spirit was real, why would it need a soul? A carbon man in a church, a carbon woman on big screen, a carbon man in a political office, a carbon woman here. They always need a carbon being somewhere. Coolest monkey in the jungle hoodie, you know what I'm saying? A Gucci with the black face. They always need a carbon man or a carbon woman. You know, Mike Brown getting shot, Sandra Bland getting hung. You know what I'm saying? They always need a carbon man or a carbon woman to do these rituals. Now, if they was of a pure, real energy source, why would you need a soul to do rituals off of? We the souls don't need no humans to do no rituals. All we need to do is come together. All we the souls need to do is come together for real, and that's it. We don't need no humans then. In fact, when we come together for real, there would be no humans in the room. You know what I mean? But the humans, they always, as racist as these damn KKK members try to make it seem, they need so-called black people because their whole existence is based on so-called black people, which is being racist. So they getting energy from even the black people. They'll try to make it seem like, oh, KKK, the white power is all about white people. No, you ain't. You all about black people because you all about being racist. And being racist is manipulating carbonated beings to exalt their energy towards you. You keep them in your minds, and you keep and they keep you in their minds. You always talking about they racist. They thinking about you. That was the KKK flag, giving up that energy. So why would an authentic energy source, a spirit, if it's so, because they always talk about this energy, why would a spirit, which is supposed to be, in quotations, an authentic energy source, need a soul? But souls don't need spirits. That's a damn fact. That is a fact. No souls need a spirit. None of us. We don't need no human. When we come together for real, we don't need them. We do not need no freaking humans, man. This is a fact, son. This ain't even debatable, man. Look how many times brothers and sisters came together in the past. What always compromised the movement? A damn human. Somewhere in the group was a human. When you're looking at a carbonated portrait and you see one human, that's infiltration. That is an infiltration right there. That is a spirit. That's a demon standing right there. Y'all can't even see that's a demon, man. They trained you to see it as a human, but the reality is that's a demon man. A human is a demon man, and a damn woman is a demon woman. You know what I mean? A demon man and a demon woman is a deity of the moon, son. They are made up of artificial energy, son. Once you come into the realization that there is artificial energy, because wasn't this planet created? This whole planet is electric. Artificial energy, man. This is an artificial planet that we're in. This is an artificial universe that we're in. You know what I mean? As I stated before, those suns are portals, real planets that lead to the ether realms. When you're looking at the sun, it's like you're looking at a hole that's in space, and that hole is shooting light through it that they telling you is a damn sun. Imagine space as a wall. Imagine all the black space that's in space. Or every time you look out in space and you see blackness, imagine that as a black wall. Now imagine all the suns that you see in space are holes in the wall. Holes inside the wall, son.